What's happening this week in Warcraft? Hey, it's Soul, and you can help support the channel by liking this video, subscribing for more WoW coverage, and catching me when I'm live. Let's highlight the bigger hotfixes from last week. The key to Argentina toy has predictably changed once again, this time in a few ways. The toy itself now has a 15-minute cooldown, which makes the whole teleport back to your previous location kind of pointless now, an unfortunate casualty. Walking out of the Argentina now always takes you back to the inn at Silvermoon City, and there's now a portal from Silvermoon to the Argentina you can take at any time. So we basically have a teleport to Silvermoon after going through 2 load screens, allowing you some flexibility to use your main Hearthstone to go where you like on the fly. Your friends in follower difficulty dungeons might still pull like crazy people, but they now deal considerably more damage, which is a reminder to complete the dungeon weekly for more of that sweet reputation. We enter the second week of the preseason, which is the period for us to level characters, to get acclimated with the world of Midnight, and on Blizzard's end, to iron out any last-second wrinkles that could become a potential problem. There's a lot we can do, and we'll go over it, but first I want to emphasize how much you don't have to do. It's been a while since the Borrowed Power era, where we had to do all sorts of side content in order to dive into our desired endgame of like raids, Mythic Plus, and so on. For the raid loggers out there, and I myself get into that phase too, you're going to be fine. But if you're interested in progressing towards some reward behind a certain activity, this is the place to be. Gearing in the preseason has never been easier when I look back on previous expansions. I'll go over the easiest ways to do it during the preseason. First and foremost, I gotta say, you gotta do some world quests. The map is heavy with them, and super generous with giving out gear this time around. For those who've noticed, the Explorer track of upgradable gear, that's gone. We're going straight to Adventurer level, which is very nice compared to your leveling gear. Make these world quests a priority to fill holes in your character. Completing the campaign and side quests will give big chunks of reputation for renown, to where you'll quickly reach the teens or so during the preseason. Along with other unlocks like skill books and transmog, there are a number of quests you unlock that ask you to complete the local zone's world event to score a piece of champion gear. It's a fixed piece, so the stats might not be to your liking, but it's a heck of a main stat boost to help you take down more baddies. After this unlock, reputation and renown are mostly limited to cosmetics, and I don't recommend falling into the trap of needing to farm up rares and immortal quests every day on a consistent basis. I feel like these 2 sources alone will have you more than prepared for the season, but there are other activities to do if your gameplay style is dependent on having that precious item level gear score or whatever they call it these days. First thing to look at would be Prey. By running it, you move down its progression track that eventually unlocks greater difficulties. During the preseason, that's going to be hard mode. Complete 2 hard mode Preys to get a random piece of veteran gear. So a little tip to try out as this week begins, pick up a Prey target from Silvermoon, preferably on hard, then just venture out and run the world quests out there. It's a sweet overlap as it's good for gearing and rep and gives you a bit of a breath of fresh air. It's another reason why I don't recommend hard farming rep. You're going to get a lot of overlap when considering Prey as part of your progression activities. Running Mythic Zeros, it's been a thing, and they reward veteran level gear. It does require a group, and there's a chance you won't get drops you want, which is why I sort of pushed this down on the list of things to do. But of course, doing these dungeons now will give you experience that'll help you in the long run. You can also get some gear crafted. During the preseason, we can start crafting our first piece, and by the time Season 1 starts, we can craft 2 pieces of gear or a single 2-handed weapon. You want to be kind of careful though, with so many different embellishments possible, it's hard to tell if what you make is going to be a winner. Maybe you'll have this piece through the whole expansion, maybe you'll regret it as soon as next week. I would say crafting 1 ring is usually a pretty safe choice if the sparks are burning a hole in your pocket. There are other progression-related things to check out during the preseason. Folks who are deep into professions will be looking at the Abundance event to pick up Fused Vitality. It's a resource used to make the best kinds of profession gear, but don't be fooled by the purple color. Epic profession gear does give the highest secondary stats, but the rare versions are much easier to obtain, and they offer the same skill bonus required to make the best quality crafts. So in my assessment, the folks who want epic gear the most will be the gatherers, followed by professions that make consumables like alchemists, and in both those cases, those players would be into this stuff like every single day to take advantage of the bonus. If you're going for these tools, you just need to run a lot of successful abundance runs. The short tip is to do this in a small group. 3 would be good, 5 would be great. Just start at the same time so everyone gets to help each other out and it's easy peasy. Another tip for this, there's a tool you can buy that teleports you to the current abundant location, which can save you a ton of time. I suggest buying this along with the other goodies like transmog on other characters, that way your profession team can focus on obtaining the fused vitality. For those who are into delves, we can work our way towards clearing a tier 7 delve. By doing so, when the season starts on the week of the 17th, a tier 8 delve will be available for you right away. This is the ideal place for you to use bountiful keys on coffers unless you want to progress all the way to 11s. Now, we don't know for sure if there's a benefit to doing that, but it's a thought to keep in mind for now. As for the housing and cosmetic folks out there, your endgame has already begun on a few fronts, offering a healthy delivery of new decor to round out new kinds of builds. I would say aesthetically, they mostly revolve around the Heronir and Void Elf vibe with some fun stuff in between, notably for the Silvermoon life. The first front will be professions, with numerous recipes across crafting professions, making opportunities for both crafters and clients. It's a lot of lumber, a lot of gold to spend, but also potentially a lot of gold to make. Another front will be dungeon spam. This is so you can obtain multiples of certain desired objects. Thankfully, the buff to follower dungeons will make this a bit easier. Last but not least, there's farming Voidlight Marl. It'll definitely start off as a slow grind as we wrestle with the currency spending on profession skill books and cosmetic unlocks and other stuff. Folks who are typically into world content like from the War Within, this is pretty much an automatic win, and they'll have little trouble buying everything they want over time. But for those of you going all in with cosmetics and decor and want that fulfillment now, what's there to do? Reportedly, one of the more reliable sources is if you're a tank or healer and you answer the call to arms bonus in the dungeon queue. I'm sure Raid Finder will offer something similar once the season starts, but dungeons are obviously faster to clear. World quests are the most reliable source when they show up. For example, this is an easy one where we play as a frog and grab stuff in the air for an easy 200 or so Marl. This can be repeated on alts without penalty too. Other kinds of world quests offer a spattering of Marl, but Prey offers some Marl too, and the overlap will start adding up. Sources of reputation, like the campaign and side quests that are already completed by your warband, those will offer Marl instead. The cash from weekly quests is also expected to be a decent source, although this week the amount of Marl was pretty whipped. Now we're going to have to wait and see what happens on different weeks as we get into the season, when we'll probably see other kinds of weeklies, like a Delve weekly and so on and so forth. Overall, world content will give a constant stream of Marl. Some mental health advice I give myself is to set a small goal. It's not to reach a certain amount of currency, because I'll be looking at that number and that actually works against me, but instead I'll keep knocking out the things that interest me, like easy world quests and Prey and Delves, and just commit to the task and not the number. The Marl, it's gonna come, and when the time comes, when I do want to get all in with the building, that's when I'll come up with a plan, a responsible one I hope, and make reasonable purchases instead of just assuming that I need 5 of everything and then give myself this crazy amount of Marl to farm for. In my head, it's the basics of goal setting. Now, I know not everyone's going to buy into that kind of code, but I'm also not making housing collections my #1 priority. It's watching what you folks make, that's been my drug. Also in event this week, Shadowpan Showdown is the brawl. So it's a lot of everything to do, but individually the bite-sized portions of content make for what Blizzard hopes to be a satisfying meal as we approach the season. Speaking of housing stuff, the visits will return this week, with a modest queue of 10 visits will spread over the next few days. Those who watch the streams on YouTube, y'all ought to know they're all moving to the new Around Azeroth channel. Make sure you follow and subscribe there, not just for the streams, but for the archive of visits that will build up there over time, and keep an eye out for when the broadcasts begin this week. That's going to be it for now, but stay tuned for fixes and updates and the occasional dramatic thing. I have plans to talk about the housing's forgotten audience and do research on gearing up when the season begins. Should be plenty of fun, and I hope you'll join me for the adventure. Please like this video, subscribe for more WoW coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.